our world. And it's not gonna stop until we're drained of every last ounce of suffering.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars and welcome to my thoughts and review for the final season, the 5th season of Stranger Things. Obviously created by the Duffer Brothers, lots of different directors, and we've got Millie Bobby Brown, Finn Wolfhard, David Harbour, Winona Ryder, Gaten Matsuro, Caleb McLaughlin, Natalie Dyer, Charlie Heston, Joe Keery. Goes on and on. Right, okay, so the final season. I know, guys, I'm a bit late to this party. But I have to be honest, when I wasn't really feeling the hype leading up to the final season. I mean, I've enjoyed all the seasons of Stranger Things, some more than others. I think it's had a lot of high points. Some, bits in it that maybe didn't work, that are up for debate, I suppose. But overall, as a show, I think it's been pretty good and pretty entertaining overall. Some a little bit different. And I remember that hype over the first season was just on another level. I mean, everyone was going mad for it when it first came out. And rightfully so. I mean, it was a very, very fun and original show when it first started. But we're here now in the final season. I finally got around to watching it. And like I said, I wasn't really feeling the hype. I can't lie. And this whole promotion of parts 1 and 2 will be released on this date and that date. This episode is like an hour and 20 minutes. This episode is this length and that length. It's a bit like, guys, just release it and shut up. Stop unnecessarily hyping the show because people are probably going to get a bit fed up. And that's kind of what happened to me. I was getting a bit fed up. So I wanted to wait until the whole thing had finished. I wanted to wait until the dust had settled and watch it and kind of make my own mind up without any of the noise, if you like. And my thoughts on season 5, really, are fairly positive overall. I mean, how do you end a show as big as Stranger Things? How do you do it? And please everybody, you're never going to do that. And if I've learned anything over the years from watching TV shows, whatever ending that they give is going to annoy some of the fans. It's happened over and over again with Dexter, Game of Thrones, Lost, you name it. It happens over and over again. It's very difficult to satisfy, to give an ending that satisfies everybody. I think the only one really that sticks out in my mind is Breaking Bad, where everybody kind of universally agreed that that was a pretty damn satisfying and solid ending to the whole show. So, I mean, I think it's 8 episodes. If I remember right, this is 8 episodes of the final season, but some of them are like so long. I mean, some of them are like movie length, it feels like, some of the episodes. So it took a while to get through. I'm not going to lie. I didn't kind of binge watch it over like 1 or 2 days, a couple of weeks type of thing. And it was good. It was solid. It was entertaining. Clearly they were trying to shoehorn storylines in for all these characters now that are in the show. I mean, how do you do that? How do you put all these storylines in for, 11 and Will and Mike and Joyce and Jim, Hopper, Lucas, Nancy, Jonathan, Steve? It goes on and on and on. There's that many characters here. How do you satisfy, end their arcs in a satisfying manner or give them anything interesting to do? And I think that was the biggest challenge for this season. Did they manage it overall? I think they did a good job of giving most characters something interesting to do. But some of the relationship drama and just, drama in general that is presented here is just it's like teen, all that kind of bollocks. You just kind of guys, the world's ending, the world's crumbling around you. shut up about your inconsequential bollocks and just get on with saving it. That's really what we want to see. We don't care about your relationship with this person or what's happening here. And this whole storyline of Will, coming out in this season, it dragged on and dragged on and dragged on. And then when you finally got to the moment where he actually came out, it was a massively, overly long, unnecessary scene. I don't have a problem with his character coming out at all. It's just the way they did it. It was just, surrounded by everybody, tears and drama. And again, they're just preparing to basically put their lives on the line, and some of them maybe die. It's not really that important, Will, right now. So I think some of the writing here was really, I don't know, really telegraphed and a little bit unnecessary and dragged out. And again, I think they tried to put too much into this show, this final season. Too many storylines, too many characters, and then they introduced new ones like Linda Hamilton's character, who was one of the main bad guys here, and wasn't really given anything interesting to do. She was kind of just a bad guy, a military bad guy. Vecna, I don't think, was as effective a villain as he was in the last season, but I did like the whole thing where he kind of goes to like the kids in the dreams and stuff, and then takes them to this house and basically brainwashes them and stuff. I quite liked that. There was some fun sequences, but it just felt like, all this build up to see, 11 finally unleash her powers, and she can just leap quite high and push things. You never, I don't know, you didn't feel that badass. If I'm honest, Will with his powers felt pretty badass to me. And the whole reasoning behind Vecna choosing children was kind of give him a swift kick in the balls, really. Because if all these children kind of reacted the same way as Will did to what he does to them, then I just didn't see the plan. I didn't see what he was trying to do. It didn't kind of make a lot of sense. It's almost like the writers have got to the point now in this season, well, probably the last couple of seasons, where kind of like, I can't believe it's actually gone on this long. What are we going to do? How are we going to kind of progress the story? And in this season, it gets to the point where they're basically fighting a huge Godzilla-y type creature at the end, and you're kind of like, what the hell is going on here? As impressive a scene as it was, it just felt like they had to kind of throw everything they had at the screen and try and make it all work. Now, I mean, it does kind of sound I'm being overly, maybe a little bit negative towards the season, and I don't mean to be. I did enjoy it overall. I thought it was fairly satisfying, apart from, like I say, some of the teen angst and drama that we get in it. I thought there was obviously the production values were on another level here. And I think, some characters' stories weren't that interesting. I quite enjoyed that is it Holly? I liked her story. I thought she was a pretty cool addition this season. I like that chubby lad that was horrible to everybody. But some of the more established characters, I didn't feel as though I cared very much about them or what they had to do in this season. It felt like their stories had finished a couple of seasons ago, and they were just kind of hanging on there now. And I think, if I'm being honest, I think the show absolutely needed a couple of very, very impactful deaths. And you don't really get that either, as far as I'm concerned. I think it really did need that to really lay down the foundations to basically say, oh, anything can happen this season. So, within the first 2 or 3 episodes, a very well-established character, I think, needed to die. And then maybe another couple at the end with a massive battle, some needed to die. And it just kind of felt like they chickened out on a lot of things like that. But like I say, overall, it was a solid end to the season. I've seen and read some negativity around this final season. I get it. I get some of it, but I don't agree with all of it, or a great deal of it anyway. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. So that's my thoughts on the very final season of Stranger Things, although let's be honest, it's never the final season, because they're already doing a spin-off show, I believe, aren't they? So we're going to get more Stranger Things. It's just going to be different characters this time. But we'll see what happens with that when we get it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. And I will, of course, be back with plenty more content on the channel very, very soon.